hiccups. She's got hiccups. Oh my God. It was my 41st birthday last week, and I've always found that having a birthday midway through the year is a really useful marking point for going back to my New Year's plans and seeing what's going well, what's completely different, and what I might want to change to do instead. So this video is exactly that. It's an update to my January 2022 video called Is It Worth All This? 2022 Music Plans and Watch Hour Reveal. But first, a question: how can the cutest puppy in the world get even cuter? Hiccups. I have placed some creative limitations on this video by starting to shoot it at 7:25 p.m. in my living room with the light fading outside and a small wriggly puppy on my knee. She's laughing at me. You're laughing at me, sweetie. This is Luna. Luna came to live with us last night actually. So we've spent the whole day in this room hanging out, getting to know each other, figuring out a bit of a schedule. She's only 8 weeks old, so she needs lots of attention and lots of love and lots of trips outside. And it's been lovely. It's been tiring, of course, but that's okay. Where are you going, babe? Careful up there. She loves to climb on things, usually me. Come on then. Okay. I've got Albie babysitting over here as well, which is very helpful. And Mr. Lion, which is one of Luna's favourites. Yeah. So yeah, creative limitations are good. I like them, and that's just the necessity of the situation I find myself in, which is not what I had planned in January. If you had said to me in January when I was making that other video, by June you'll have an 8-week-old Cavapoo puppy called Luna, I would have laughed at you. But it's happened and it's brilliant and I'm delighted. And so I thought I'd share with you how some of my other plans for the year have gone awry, how I'm dealing with that, and how the rest of the year is looking in terms of my music and my YouTube channel. Where have you gone? You okay back there? Okay, first let's talk about Obey Robots, which is my collaborative project with Rat from Ned's Atomic Dustbin. In the January video, I talked about how I had something like 5.5 days left to record all of my parts of the album before we went into the studio to record Rat's guitars, and then straight after that the album was going to be mixed, we were going to get the artwork done, we were going to send it off to the vinyl manufacturer, and it was going to be out later this year. Well, for a start, 5.5 days was not enough to finish all the things I had to do, and it never was. And then we were just besieged with different kinds of delays, to the point where a few weeks ago my mix engineer left the project, which was unexpected and quite difficult, to be honest. Setbacks to personal projects that mean a lot to you can be quite emotionally devastating, and I've been finding that stuff really hard the last few months. Oh, they're lying down together now. So it took me quite a while to even be able to start thinking about trying to find someone else to mix the record, knowing that at this late stage in the year there's no chance of being able to get the album out in 2022. That does take all of the pressure off that was on before, self-imposed pressure of course, to get the album to print at a certain time, to be able to get vinyl back and all that kind of stuff. And I'm absolutely delighted and very excited to say that someone who's mixed some of my absolute favourite indie and rock records over the years has agreed to do a test mix for us, hopefully to then go ahead and complete the album. And I'm just blown away that he would even consider it. So yeah, this is really exciting news. I'm really not one to count my chickens before they're hatched, so I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'll let you know when things are definitely happening, but yeah, I am really excited about this one. This sort of thing has happened to me a few times over the years, not in such a catastrophic way, but in smaller ways. And each time I've pushed back a release date or a deadline of some sort, reluctantly at first, I've always felt such relief that I've given myself the extra time to make sure that the thing I'm putting out into the world is good enough. I think that deadlines are really important and they're a good thing to aim towards, because there is the danger of just constantly sharpening your pencils and never making the drawing. So yeah, I like to be someone who finishes things and releases things and moves on to the next thing, but equally it's just not worth rushing something and then regretting it later. And I would never ever release something to the fans of my music that I wasn't completely happy with. And so we're now looking at a release date of early 2023, which is sooner than I even thought it would be, because I didn't think I'd be able to find someone to mix it. So yeah, I'm really happy. All good. The puppy's asleep. In January, I told you about 2 vinyl releases I had coming out this year, which are for my previous project, She Makes War. I recently celebrated the 10th anniversary of my second album, Little Battles, and as that album and my debut album, Disarm, have never been out on vinyl before, I decided to print some up. These are available to pre-order now, either on vinyl or CD, both with beautiful reworked cover version artwork by Ben the Illustrator. I'll put a link in the description below for that. I had said I was going to make t-shirts and postcards and all sorts of other bits and pieces, and to be honest with you, time has run away with me, and so with this release I decided to just keep things simple. I will be making some new Penfriend t-shirts soon though, so watch this space. Speaking of Penfriend, which is my main music project, in my January video I said I'd be making 2 more music videos, and I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to. I also haven't properly started recording the second Penfriend album yet because of all of this other stuff that's been going on, but for my latest Correspondence Club zine and CD bundle, I created a 40+ minute deep dive kind of podcast audio commentary thing where I went through a bunch of song sketches and voice memos and that sort of thing and talked about some of the ones that I think will make it onto the album. So if you're interested in getting this sneak peek into the very, very beginning of the album making process, then have a look at joining the Correspondence Club. The friendly face tier is the one if you want a digital only membership, and select Amazing Ally if you want the physical version of the zine and the CD bundle delivered to your door, wherever you are in the world. This whole YouTube experiment is going really well, I think. This is my 27th weekly YouTube video in a row with no breaks. And honestly, I'm more surprised than anyone that I've been able to do this. I really started learning about the power of consistently turning up and doing things on a schedule when I made my podcast Attention Engineer between, 2020 and end of 2021. And I took that into different parts of my creative practice, most notably into my weekly email to my Correspondence Club members. I will always be honest with you, and as much as I want to say numbers schmumbers about views and stuff like that, and as much as I know it's not about that, as much as I know it's about consistently turning up and creating stuff over a period of time, I know that it takes a while to reach a tipping point, it takes a long time to become an overnight success, and all of those great things to remember. I can't say that it feels great when I put a video up and it doesn't have very many views. And I try to remember that on my old channel I put videos up and they had really no views. And I try to remember that this is a long game I'm playing, and I try to remember that it's more about what I'm making than the number of people who are watching it. But I'm being honest, it doesn't feel great when I put a lot of time and effort into something and very few people see it. But I do appreciate every single person who does see it, so thank you very much for being one of those people. I really do appreciate you. And I really am playing a long game, and I really am happy to keep turning up because I really love making videos, and I'm really pleased with the direction that my videos are going in. I spent a lot of time experimenting with different kinds of videos on this channel, some stuff about mindful productivity, some stuff where I show my creative process, I've got performance videos, I've got live streams, and recently I've been pushing myself quite far out of my comfort zone and really going into the storytelling thing, which was the thing that brought me back to YouTube in the first place. The video I'm most proud of making so far is last week's one, for anyone feeling overwhelmed. The day I shot that video, I woke up determined to make something from scratch, to take a step out of the fog of burnout and stress and everything that I'd been living under for weeks and months. And making that video was a transformative act for me in my personal life, as well as being a demonstration of the kind of tone and look and feel of the videos that I'd like to be making on a regular basis. I like making a mix of stuff, but that is definitely a step down a road that I am really interested in following. And I know that I just wouldn't have made that video if I hadn't made every single video preceding it. When I committed to making videos on a weekly basis, it was because I was really interested to see what kinds of videos I'd be making in 12 months' time if I did that, because of all that focused practice and hitting deadlines consistently. So yeah, I'm just really interested to see where this goes. I'm having a great time doing it. And just the conversations I'm having with people like you, whether it's here or on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram, they're just so rewarding. And this stuff is in many ways way more direct than any music I can make. I'm also pleased to say that I'm talking to you now as a monetized YouTuber. I managed to gain my 4,000 watch hours right at the end of February. And at the time of speaking, 2,057 fantastic people have subscribed to my channel. Thank you for being one of them. And if you're not, you know what to do, and I'm not going to say it. You might be interested to know that so far, again at the time of speaking, I have earned £70.46 over the 4 and a bit months that I've been monetised. I say this neither to complain nor to brag. I just think it's so interesting to learn about the numbers behind this kind of thing, because as a full-time independent musician, I think it's smart to explore different revenue streams and see what works. Because I only have so much time and I only have so much energy, and I've just got a little puppy, and so any time I spend apart from her and her older sister Albie, I need to make sure I'm spending in smart ways. Oh yeah, the puppy! I should tell you more about this situation, shouldn't I? This is Luna. She is an 8-week-old Cavapoo. That's a cross between a Cavalier and a poodle. Her mum and dad are Maggie and Rocky, and they are Cavapoos as well. And her dad is 3/4 poodle and 1/4 Cavalier, and her mum, I think, is 50-50. So she's going to be very poodly looking, have very curly hair, and be quite bouncy, I think. She already is quite bouncy. She came into our lives through an advert on the internet recently. She was actually named by the breeder's daughter, and that's just a word that's had so much meaning for me over my adult life. I had a production company called Lunafish Productions when I was in my early 20s. I've played a Luna ukulele for, I want to say, 10 years, maybe more. And I don't know if you know, but my home studio is called The Launchpad. So when I saw that name and I saw a picture of this beautiful little girl, it just seemed like there were some signs that we had to pay attention to, so we did. And she just came along at exactly the right moment, because we used to have 2 dogs in this house and we lost my beloved Mr. Benji just before New Year. And I was pretty devastated. I'm still very, very sad about that, of course. Anyone who's lost a pet will know that it doesn't go away overnight. And what with everything that's been going on this year, I've just been finding it so hard. And Albie has been a wonderful companion. She's such a sweet dog. I was really happy just to have her as an only dog. That would have been absolutely fine. And then I started to think maybe she'd like a friend as well. And I thought that I would like a friend as well. And Tim would like a friend. We like to have friends. And it just feels so right to have our team back up to full capacity, you know? She's got one blue eye like David Bowie, which is very sweet. And she's just lovely. And it's lovely to have her here. Yeah, that's Luna. And talking about how plans can change, if you'd said to me in January that by June I'd have a new dog in my life, I would have laughed at you. But here we are. She's so cuddly. Oh, it's so lush. So lush. It's like a furry parrot. So there you go. Plans change. That's okay. I like to think of plans as directions rather than destinations. Sometimes they come to fruition, sometimes they don't, sometimes they change, sometimes they're better for the fact that they changed, sometimes they're not. But, you know, just got to keep trying. And the puppy wants to go out. I've got to go. It's puppy playtime now, and I've just about got away with the light outside. So I'll leave you for now. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, please do leave any comments or questions below. I always love to hear from you. Bye bye. YouTube thinks you'll like this video, and this is a cute little puppy's face. Take care, and I'll see you next week.